Okay, hello and good morning. Today's topic is similar triangles. Write that down. And today is week 3-3. If you haven't turned your homework in, classwork, make sure you do. And today's date is 1/22/24. Let's take a look here. All right, so it's telling us that this triangle here is similar to that triangle. Now, what that means is the sides are proportional. Write that down. Sides are proportional. And they're proportional because of that right there. That means similar. Now, what that means is they're not exactly the same size, but the sides are proportional. So look here. You take the first two over the first two. Then you take the second two over the second two. And then you take the first and last over the first and last. Now, if they go backwards, you go backwards as well. In other words, if they say BA, then you say ED. You go backwards, okay? You have to follow their pattern, like Simon says. Again, the topic is similar triangles. Okay? So this right here represents the key. Again, first two over the first two, second two over the second two, and then first and last over first and last. Okay, there it is. So let's look at the problem. Now you just fill it in. So AB is 6, so you put a 6 there. BC is 4, so you put a 4 there. DE is 10, so you put a 10 there. And you're looking for this one, so put an X here. And there it is. And that's what we want. So it's 6 over 10 equals 4 over X. Now this is called a proportion. Look, a fraction equal to a fraction. So you cross multiply, and then you divide. Copy those steps. So it's going to be 6 times x, which is 6x, and 4 times 10, which is 40. And then you divide by 6. I want you to go from the bottom to the top. The bottom to the top, just like that. So the answer is going to be 40 divided by 6. You can use your calculator and get the answer on that. Okay, let's take a look at this next one. This one's on page 395. And so what you're going to do is just set it up. It tells you that they're similar. If they were not similar, then you would not be able to do proportions. So I'm going to put the height over the height. So 4 over x equals, and then I'm going to do the bottom over the bottom. Now notice that my arrows are going in the same direction. So if I would go 4 over x and then switch it and go 12 over 8, that would be going backwards, and you'd miss it. Okay? So you got to keep the direction the same. Then you cross multiply. So you get 8x equals 48, I think, right? 12 times 4. And then you divide by 8, get your calculator, take 48 divided by 8, and whatever you get is your answer. Okay? Pretty simple. Copy this one down. Now they're going to have to tell you that they're similar, and I'm going to tell you that right now. They're similar. So we're going to go ahead. Now if you look at this triangle here, you see how this one is shorter than that one? Those are called legs, right? Because they touch the dots. So this is the short leg, and this is the long leg, and this is the hypotenuse, which is the longest side. So X has to be the longest side. On this triangle here, which one is the short leg? This one. Which one is the long leg? This one. And which one is the hypotenuse? Across from the 90 is the hypotenuse. And there it is. So now you set your proportion up. So you could do it this way. You could do long leg over hypotenuse equals long leg over hypotenuse. There are other ways you can do it, but this is one way. You have to be consistent. Now you have to cross multiply. So you're going to get 4 times 18 minus x equals 12x. Then you got to distribute. Try to finish that up. On this one right here, you're going to get 4 times 8, which is 32. 4 times 1 is 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to say 72 minus 4x. Make sure you distribute that 4 times the x equals 12x. Now I'm going to add 4x to both sides. And I'm going to get 72 is equal to whatever that is, 16x. And then I'm going to divide by 16, and I get my answer. So on your calculator, take 72 divided by 16, and that's how you do it. Today you have a worksheet which looks like this. Today's date is 1/22/25, and there it is. So if you can't be with us, guess what? You can copy it down. Now, let me just show you one thing on this worksheet before I go any further. This one says JKL. So J is here, K is here, and L is here. So that's the way you're going. You're starting with J. J has 1 mark. You're going to 2 marks. And then you're going to no marks. So you got to follow the same pattern. So 1 mark, 2 marks, and then no marks. So you'd have to label this right here as TUV. The pattern has to be the same. Okay, that's how you do that one. On this one right here, you're going to separate the 2 triangles. So you have a small triangle, which looks like this, and then you have a great big triangle, which looks like this. This triangle is 16 and 25, like that. And this triangle is 88, right? 88. And then whatever this is, you got to add that up. It looks like 120, 132. And then it's telling you the triangles. So this one is KBC. And this one is KLM. And they're telling you that triangle KLM, so KLM, has to be similar to KBC. So KBC would be correct. And that's how you follow the same pattern. And then you set your proportion up. You can go the slanted one over the slanted one equals the bottom one over the bottom one. And again, notice that my arrows are going in the same direction. Now, I don't think they wanted you to really work anything here because there's no X, but they did want this. Okay? So you're naming which triangles are similar, and it's real important you follow the pattern. Okay, here's the back side of this. This one right here, you actually have to work, and there it is. We're going to turn our attention now to college algebra. So on college algebra, copy that down. And let's take a look here. First of all, you got to memorize these formulas. Notice that they have the x squared and y squared on the left side, so I'm going to change this. X squared plus 16x plus 64. That's the first thing I want you to do, is to get the x squared or y squared on the left-hand side as per the formula. The next thing you're going to do is move the constant over. So that's going to become y minus 64, right? Because you have to subtract 64 from both sides. If it's a positive here and you move it, it becomes a negative. So now you're going to get x. And actually, backtrack on all of this. This is a perfect square trinomial. 8 times 8 is 64, and 8 plus 8 is 16. So this is going to be x plus 8 quantity squared equals y. And there's a 1 in front of here. Okay? So the vertex is going to be the opposite, and this is not expanded out. So that's going to be 0. So the vertex is going to be negative 8, the opposite, and there's nothing over here, so it's going to be 0. And when I say nothing over here, I mean like this, like plus 0. Okay? So that's your vertex. To find P, you're going to say that this right here, which is your latus rectum, you're going to say 4P is equal to 1. And then you're going to divide by 4 and get P equals 1/4. So to graph this, you're going to go -8, like that, and then down 0. And then you're going to go up 1/4 and down 1/4. Now one of those is your focus. Since P, or this right here, since this is positive, or since P is positive, this thing's going to be going up. So this has to be your directrix. And that's how you graph that right there. Now your latus rectum would be from here to here. So the distance from here to here has to be 1. So the whole thing is 1. This little piece has to be 0.5, and this one has to be 0.5. There it is. Let's try another one. This one right here, again, move your x's to the other side. Like that. Switch them. Take your constant, move your constant over here. It changes to a plus. Factor out a 2. So you're left with 2 times x squared minus 2x. Now you're going to complete the square. So half of 2 is 1. Half of 2 is 1. And then 1 squared is 1. So you're going to add 1 here. And since you added 1 here, you want to add 1 over here, but you got a 2 sitting out here. So you got to be careful. So 2 times 1 is 2. So really, you're adding 2. Okay? So at this point, this looks like this. This is a perfect square trinomial. So that's going to be x minus 1, like that, equals y plus 4, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to divide by 2. So I'm going to get x minus 1 squared. Now when you divide by 2 here, I don't want you to divide each of these by 2. I want you to leave it as 1/2 and then y plus 4. And there it is. So the opposite of this, your vertex, is going to be a 1. And here the opposite is going to be a -4. This is your latus rectum. So you're going to say 4p is equal to 1/2. Then you're going to divide by 4. When you divide by 4, the 4 is actually on the bottom. So p equals 1/8. Let's see how that looks. So you're going to go over 1, down 4, and you're going to put a dot. You're going to go up an 8 and down an 8. Now, since p is positive, it's going to be going up again. And this is your lattice. That's your directrix. And there it is. Let's try one more. Copy that one down. Okay, again, let's switch sides. So you're going to say -1/3 and then x minus 7 quantity squared plus 1 equals y. Draw a line. Move your constant. So now you're going to have -1/3 and then x minus 7 quantity squared equals y minus 1. Now you're going to multiply by -3 to get rid of this one. So when you multiply by -3, this cancels. So now you're going to have x minus 7 quantity squared equals -3 times y minus 1. Don't distribute, okay? So this is a negative, so it's going to go down. So the opposite of this is going to be your vertex. So your vertex here is going to be located at 7 and 1. That's your vertex. 4p is equal to -3, and then you're going to divide by 4. So p is going to be equal to -3/4. And since p is negative, it's going to be going down. So catch up with me. Go over 7 and then up 1. Okay? Now p is a -3/4. So you want to go up 3/4 and down 3/4. This one's going down like this. This is your vertex, this is your focus, and this is your directrix right here. And that's how you graph it. All right, today you have a worksheet which looks like this. Now when you get your worksheet, I want you to scratch this out right now. and put week 3-3. So week 3-3, and then I want you to put worksheet A. So here it is if you can't be with us, and I'll work some with you. All right, I want you to copy down these 6 on the back. Copy those 6 on the back of your sheet. I'll pause it here. I'll make it a little bigger for you. Copy those down. So today, you're doing this worksheet, and on the back side, you're copying these 6 and working these 6. All right, have a good morning.